What is up, Unbound? Hello, and welcome back to another Unbound community update. I am your host, as always, David Rethemeyer, and can you believe that 2022 is already coming to a close? We're in the last month now. Now, whether you're glad that 2022 is over or you're going to be missing all the fun times you had this year, I've got here right now for you a few updates that you need to know in the Unbound community to close out the year. So if you're curious about anything that I talk about in this episode, you can find links to whatever I talk about in the description down below. First up, we'll start off with the forums. Now, if you're on the forums, you might have noticed the fact that a lot of people's profile pictures have changed to weird spacemen, and you might be curious as to what's going on. And that is because the forums games for the end of the year are going on right now, and they are Among Us themed. There's a lot of fun stuff going on, and quite a few sus activities as well. So it's good fun if you are in on the forums games, and that will be going to be wrapping up here in just a few days. And speaking of things wrapping up, the forums will be going on the regular forums hiatus in just a couple of weeks to just make sure that everything gets cleaned up as far as the threads. All of this year's threads get archived, and there's room for plenty of new, fresh discussions in 2023. If you want to be added to the hiatus PM, which is something that keeps going throughout the hiatus, you can just message the mods if you want to be added to it. And then be on the lookout in January because there will be Ranger elections for the next term. So stay tuned for that. And with Empower calls, they are going to be coming to a close for the year pretty soon as well. The annual Empower Call Christmas party is going to be held on December 19th with a whole bunch of fun stuff, including Christmas-themed Mafia, which sounds like a ton of fun. So if you want to see that and any other calls that are coming up soon, you can check out the sign-up sheet down below. And if you're looking for an opportunity to be more involved in the Unbound community and get some leadership experience by learning by doing, then you can actually apply to be a part of the 2023 ECM and be a part of a really cool team. That's actually how I got started in being really involved in the community in one of my last years of being a student, actually. So if you want to check it out, the applications for the 2023 ECM are also closing on December 19th. So if you want to check that out, the link will be down below. Over on the Be Unbound YouTube channel, we've been releasing a ton of Apex content, and now the full Apex recap video is out with all of the awesome students that were followed around for each of the individual days recaps, so it is definitely worth a watch. Make sure to go and check it out. And coming soon, there will be more Ascend stories featuring some of you awesome people and the cool things that you're doing. And be on the lookout for some polls that will be coming out from the media team as they're looking for what kinds of videos that you guys might want to see coming out in 2023, as well as the fact that there is a new student team. There's a new student content team. And so Ben and Madison are joining us to make sure that we are putting out some really cool content from the students, from you guys. So they're going to be helping us out with some content as well. Make sure to look out from messages from them in Slack and on the forums to see if they have any insights or polls that they want to get from you guys. And on the podcast side of things, right here where we are, we just released a really cool conversations episode with Dan and Carrie Elliott. And, they're Abby's parents, and they also help us with some admission stuff here at Unbound. And you might know that they did a little bit of photography, Dan did at Apex. And they were just really, really cool people. And their interview was absolutely a highlight of the season. Make sure to check it out. But we are actually wrapping up the season of the podcast pretty soon here. We just released the final episode of Talks for the season. We have a new episode of Pursuits coming out at the end of this week with our aviators, some students and alumni who are pilots. And we have a season finale episode of Conversations. Let me tell you guys, oh my goodness, it's fantastic. We've already recorded it, and it's awesome. It is easily one of our favorite episodes that we've ever done. It is one of the most requested guests that we have ever had for the show, and you are not going to want to miss when it comes out. So be on the lookout for the season finale coming soon. And now it's time for the question for the community. If this is your first time listening in, each episode of the community update, I ask a question and then I get answers from you guys in the community. And then in the following community update, I highlight 3 of my favorite answers to that question. So the question that I posed in the November update was, if you could ask any person, dead or alive, one question, who would it be? And what would you ask them? And here are my 3 favorite answers. Elias, over on the Ascend Slack, said, I would love to ask the Apostle Peter what his spiritual and personal growth looked like from when he first walked with Christ. We get a rough arc of it in the Bible, but I would love to hear it in detail. Yeah, I have to agree. Any sort of conversation with any of the apostles or people who had direct contact with Jesus would be super, super interesting. I would love to ask them questions. Shalamus over on the forums asked, perhaps a cruel person who caused a lot of deaths like Hitler, Stalin, Khan, Mao, etc., and ask them what compelled them. How did they justify the mass suffering they caused? What brought them to be the person they became? Going to the other end of the spectrum from Jesus, but this is also a really, really interesting question. And while it would be a really dark question to ask, it would give some really interesting insights into just the brokenness of humanity and how evil people really can be. So really, really good question. And finally, Faith on the Ascend Slack says, I would ask my future self, what was the worst thing that happened that turned out to be the best? Redemption stories are awesome. It's so cool to see how God is working. So I wholeheartedly agree with that answer. That is a super good question. So thank you very much to everyone who answered for this question. And if you would like a chance to be featured in next month's update, which will be January 2023, here's the question that I've got for you. What do you want for Christmas? And if you're putting this answer in after Christmas, did you get it? So submit your insightful, entertaining, and extraordinary answers on the Unbound forums in the community update thread or in the Ascend Slack by replying to the message. Now, on the official Unbound side of things, we've got a couple things that we just want to make sure that you guys are in the loop about. We have the Ascend Semester program, which is just a 1 semester long version of Ascend, compacting all of the awesome things about Ascend into 1 spring semester, where students get to come to base camp, they get to be on their own Ascend team, they get to attend webinars, they get to work on a project, all sorts of cool stuff in a shorter time frame and at a lower price. So the enrollment for that is open, but enrollment will be ending on January 6th. So if you know anybody who should be in this program, make sure to let them know now because enrollment will be ending soon. In addition to Ascend Semester, we also have Ascend 2023 early enrollment that is open right now. It is pretty much the cheapest price that you can get right now for Ascend 2023, and the price will be increasing on January 1st. So if you know anybody who's interested in Ascend for next year, starting in the fall, make sure to let them know that this is the best way to get a low price. And last but not least, we have a brand new online event that Unbound is going to be hosting. It's for high school parents and students called What's Next. Jonathan's going to be going over the Ask, Do, Understand, Live, Thrive framework, otherwise known as the Adult Framework. Some really, really good content. It'll be happening December 5th through 7th. Registration is $15 for regular registration or $25 for the VIP registration. You can check it out at beunbound.us/online event. You can find the link to that and all of the other programs I just talked about right down below. And to conclude, let's hear some words of wisdom for the last time in 2022.
Words of wisdom from David Rethemeyer.
If you see a bear in the tree, that tree is the bear's property. He probably pays taxes on it. Don't screw with that tree's money.
These words of wisdom are brought to you by David Rethemeyer.
And that will wrap up the community update, the last community update for 2022 for this month of December. Thank you all very much for joining me. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas and a wonderfully Happy New Year. And as always, be unbound.